Well, where's your camera?
See, that was...
Yeah, what happened to that one?
I had to be a gorilla, man. All right.
So I got this camera staring at me, and that's it?
Yeah, man, you're the celebrity guy.
I'm not the celebrity.
You're celebrity guy. Every time you walk in the room, I hear this.
That's right. It's standing up. People are usually standing up, going crazy, and that's when the mosh pit begins. And
then it's in you here.
Surfing. Yeah.
All right, but if it isn't obvious right now, me and Vince are friends, so we can joke with each other.
Yes, we can.
All right, so please tell people who you are, what you do, and how long you've been doing it.
What?
Who you are.
Okay, let's start with that one. My name is Vince Perri.
What you do.
I'm a public adjuster.
And how long have you been doing it?
Way too long.
Mm-hmm.
About 13 and a half years now.
Wow. What's something that you know now that you wish you knew when you first started?
Something that I know now that I wish I knew when I first started. I would say, I think over time, just the benefit of building really good, strong, positive relationships with people and being nice to others.
Mm-hmm. So at first, it sounds like were you the typical stereotype public adjuster, like a bulldog, based off of what it seems like we should be to get things done? Is that what you're saying?
I just think as public adjusters, we're entrepreneurs, but sometimes when we're starting out, we have to go into business with people that you may not know very well, and sometimes it doesn't go so well.
And I actually had another public adjuster who said the same thing, because it seems like I just so happened that as soon as I became a public adjuster, I went straight into it myself, which is not always preferred, but sometimes you do that depending on how confident or what position you are. What would you say people should ask or find out about a firm before they willingly give up a percentage of their claims?
Culture. I think company culture is very important. I think core values are very important. I think maybe if you could talk to some of the other employees, some of the other adjusters, if you're capable of doing it, ask them sort of how the day-to-day goes. I honestly think that the percentage should be the last thing on the list. If there is a list, I think that should be one of the last things.
So is there a difference between culture and core values in your mind?
No, to me those kind of run hand in hand.
Mm-hmm. So what about the culture and core values should they look for?
It depends on what your culture and what your core values are. You may not have them listed, but we all sort of have an idea of what they are. Is family important to you? Is loyalty important to you? Is just anything that I was talking to Carlos earlier. I think he said one of the things was like just honesty, integrity. Those are things that are important to some people more than others, and I think you should be looking out for that the first time you're even being interviewed. Because you might be able to sort of get that sense from a firm or from someone that you're talking to, or like I said, when you're being interviewed by another firm, you might be able to get a sense of that right off the bat. And I believe that, again, in regards to percentage, because I know that's always a big thing, especially since we're hiring, we're like, I get people asking me, well, what's the percentage? What's the split? What's the split? And I believe that if you can create a culture in your company that is helpful, that is beneficial to everyone, everyone's helping each other out and doing whatever they can, I think, again, you could take a lower percentage for that when you're working in a positive environment.
Because it might seem as if you're getting the lion's share of the split, but if you're not getting any education, and when you run into problems, well, but when you run into issues, if they're not the person isn't readily accessible to you, what use is having a huge percentage?
Exactly. What's the point of you giving up a percentage if you're not going to get any help?
And we were having a conversation not too long ago where you were saying that you actually have a weekly meeting with your crew, and you have a meeting where you incorporate your marketing team with your public adjusters. What's the importance of that, and how did you reach that level of engagement with your people?
Yeah, again, company culture is you're building that foundation, right? The weekly meeting is for a couple of things. Is you remind people of what the company culture is. That's number one, and then number two is we set 90-day goals, but we go over them on a weekly basis. So we're going to go over, if it comes to the public adjusters, how many claims did you sign this week or last week? How many leads did you go after? How many doors did you knock? How many claims did you close? what's your settlement amount this week? Like, how many claims, a dollar amount did you settle this week? And it's really nice after 3 months. You know, did you hit your goals for the 3 months? But you're also after 3 weeks or after 6 weeks, you see like sort of the progress from week to week. It's pretty nice.
So you were for a long time working with a firm that you really, at least, and not just what I see you show publicly, but even in our private conversations, you really admire that firm and the owner of that firm. What made you leave?
He's doing other stuff. He's not really doing much public adjusting anymore. He's got another business that he's looking after, and this commercial claims advocate thing just sort of took off, and we just felt that it was the right time.
Got it. What's the name of your company now?
Elite Resolutions.
What does elite mean to you, and why did you decide to make that the name of your company, Elite Resolutions?
Elite is just, to me, I love that word. I've always loved it. I've had several businesses, and they've all had the word elite in it. I've got a business called Super Elite. We were the Miami Elite Tennis Academy. Now we're Elite Resolutions, and I just think it makes you, you know, the elite, the best of the best.
The best of the best.
Best of the best.
Got it. All right. So commercial claims advocate and elite are two separate entities.
Yes.
What's the separation? What's the difference?
So they're separate because the commercial claims advocate is a educational platform where people come and they could learn. We've got the live Zoom courses. We're going to have online courses coming out soon. We've got it's also like, I hate using the word movement, but it's sort of like a movement of bringing people together. We're doing the monthly meetups, so bringing PAs and bringing contractors together. But also, when you think about it, I don't know if this is where it's going, but it is technically the marketing division of Elite Resolutions, because since I am sort of linked to both anyway, and everybody knows that, it's the what's the word I'm looking for, the not notoriety, but I guess the reputation and us being out there on social media all the time, it sort of blends in now to sort of the marketing division of Elite Resolutions.
And recently, because I'm a solopreneur, I just do this myself. However, you made me feel, because the conversation I was having with you is, man, I'm just by myself. I feel awkward on my website saying we this and we that, and you broke something down to me. Can you do you mind? Because it seemed like it was ingrained in your persona. What's the significance of using we, even if you're the only person in your firm? And how do you reach that? Because
nothing that we accomplish in life is done on our own. We've got friends, we've got family, we've got mom, we've got dad, we've got brother, sister, friend here, friend there. You and I help each other out. There's nothing in my opinion that we accomplish that we do alone. And anyone that says that they do is either ignorant, dumb, or just got a real bad ego problem.
So somebody who is by themselves, not only is it probably a good perception decision to use we, because it makes it seems like you have a team, but that's how you can justify it internally, is that, all right, even though it is just me technically, but philosophically, it took my camp to get me to where I'm at.
I mean, I think so. If you're by yourself, I mean, I think it's okay. But as soon as you've got one person working there with you, I mean, I think it's a start to building a nice culture of teamwork, of family, of, you know, doing stuff together. Even just one person. I try to never ever use the word I, because everyone is so heavily involved, and I'm nothing without them.
And what got me into it is, and like I say, I started doing it, but uncomfortably. But you made me feel more comfortable doing it. But what made me change it on my site was I was watching a interview with Chris Voss, and he said, which is a world-class negotiator, and he said, whenever I hear somebody using I a lot, I know they're not as important as they think they are.
What in the hell was that? That was good.
Yeah,
I like that. I mean, it makes sense. It just makes sense. It's an ego problem. That's an ego. Using the word I is an ego problem.
Got it.
No one's ego is that big. Or, I mean, they are that big, but no one's that important.
Absolutely. So, all right. So what made you, because you were an independent adjuster first, just like a lot of people.
I was actually a desk adjuster.
Staff
adjuster, auto for State Farm.
And so, and I think from a previous conversation you and I had it was a situation to where you had never had a structured job, but you thought, I'm an adult now, I need a structured job. You had a moment, a Jerry Maguire moment. Can you describe that for this audience?
So it was 2008 or 2009. If anybody remembers, that was the crash all over the place. And let me just do this. And everybody was in need of a job. The market, we were in a recession. It was the Great Recession is what they called it, right? Everybody was struggling. And I had this job with State Farm. And I was a tennis instructor before that, working for myself. And I just couldn't do it anymore. And frankly, I just quit. And the funny thing is that they always used to tell us, if you don't like your job, you should just feel lucky to have a job. I'll never forget those words. And I used to say, no, that's not how this works. I need to be able to, if I'm going to be here 75% of my life because I'm working 9 to 5, I think I should like it. So if I didn't like it, if I wasn't happy, I just quit. I called the public adjuster I was going to work for. I planned it all out. He's like, okay, you're good to go whenever you leave. I called some students. I called the place I was teaching at so I can get some income, still teaching tennis. And I just put in my 2 weeks. And after 2 days, she's like, you know what? It was a Friday. She's like, you can just go now. I said, all right, no problem. So got my box. I said bye to a lot of the people that I had become friends with over the last year and a half there. And she walked me out, and as we're walking out, it's a cubicle-style office, so you probably got a good, probably over 100 people, everybody in their little cubicle. And again, I'm saying goodbye as I'm walking out, and you could see heads popping up, and they're seeing, and they're there, and somebody just starts clapping, and the whole place stands up, starts clapping like this thing, like the Jerry Maguire thing, where Jerry Maguire, and everybody's just like, hell yeah, man, get out of here. You're doing the right thing.
The proverbial slow clap that just turns into an overwhelming stampede of applause, right?
Yeah, it was really, really funny. I'll never forget that.
Thank you so much, Vince. One last question before I let you go. Yes. Everybody knows most people know what path means.
Okay.
And most people in our industry should know what indemnity means.
Okay.
What does the phrase path to indemnity mean to you? What's the first thing that comes to mind?
Putting you back whole again. Putting you back to where you were before. I know it doesn't sound very
yeah, because you just gave me the definition of indemnity.
Yeah.
But when you hear path to indemnity.
For me as a public adjuster, it's the life of a claim. It's what we do from the beginning. I mean, Cal's always, and you're always stressing and talking about duties after the loss, and that's where it starts. And I'm the same way. I mean, I try to convince a lot of public adjusters, because I remember in the beginning of my career, I was like, if it's an obvious loss where there's no complication, what's the point of hiring a PA? You could just do it yourself. And no, it's important that because nobody knows, policyholders do not know what the duties after the loss are. And if you screw that up and right from the very outset, you could screw up the entire life of the claim. So the path to indemnity starts there, and it goes through the process of the following up with the insurance company, putting the estimate together, negotiating, settling, and then you are indemnified.
Amazing. Once again, man, tell people who you are and how they can get in touch with you.
Vince Perri, www.commercialclaimsadvocate.com. I am the commercial claims advocate, also the owner of Elite Resolutions, and that's pretty much it.
Vince Perri, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Bye, everybody. Goodbye. Thank you very much, Randolph.
You're welcome. You the man.
So how are you going to do? You can do like a